This is another flower motif that I did recently and I would like to share with you all. This has only 3 parts to do. That is the center sun part and followed by beehive part and over that leafy pattern. I'll be sharing with you all in my following videos how to do it. In this video I'm going to show you how to do this flower motif. This is done again using anchor thread and needle, and this is very easy and simple also, and this has only 3 rows to go. 3 parts to go. That is, the first row is the sun part of 26 loops, and over that we are going to do this beehive round, and above that this will be of 3 rows. After doing these 3 rows of beehive round, we are going to do this leafy pattern. Let me show you how to do this. So first of all, we have to do with 26 loops in center. For that I am going to wrap the thread around my finger in this way, making a small cross and leaving this thread a bit lengthy because we need 26 loops, and I am inserting the needle as usual. I have shown in my previous videos also how to do this basic round, and I am demonstrating again here. This will be the first knot. Now let's proceed doing with 26 loops over it. Now this is the first loop. This is the second one. In this way we are going to do 26 loops and then close this ring. Insert the needle, leaving bit of space. Wrap the back portion of this thread around the needle in anti-clockwise and pull it to form a knot, and also pull this thread and the loop is formed. Now pull this thread, that is this thread. This should be movable and the loops can be formed. Again leave a bit of space, insert the needle as I have shown. Make a knot here and pull this thread. I have made 6 loops. This is how we are going to continue, and I will be back with you when I am doing the 26th loop. For the first round I have done 25 loops, and this will be the 26th loop, and I am going to show you how to close this ring. Now total 26 loops are done, and this is how it looks as you can see, and I'm going to pull this thread now slowly. And the center part is done. Now I'm going to work with next round of beehive. That is, over this we are going to work with beehive, but before that we shall lock this, place a knot and lock this part. And this is how it looks. So we can cut this thread later on. Now just place chains over these loops, that is, insert the needle here, place the knot, then move to the next loop, insert the needle and put one more knot. I think this is very clear now, visible also how the knots are formed here now. This is how it looks. I'll be back with you when I complete this round and then move to the next row of beehive. That is, in the next row the knots will be placed in center of these chains. In this way we have to go work with 3 rounds, but I'll be back with you when I've done with this round. Now the first round is almost completed and this is the last loop that is to be done, and then I'll show you how to form beehives over it. Now the first row, after completing the first row of chain round, now we'll have to work in center of these chains. We have to make knots in center of these chains. Now insert the needle in center of this chain, that is between these two loops, and this thread should always be on top, and the back portion of the thread will be wrapped anti-clockwise around the needle and then pulled. We have to work in this way for 3 more rounds before we proceed with the leafy pattern. This is how it looks, and we'll have to work in this way for 3 more rounds. I hope it is clear, and I'll get back to you after I've completed the 4th round and show you how to form these semicircles and then the leaf over it. Also, I would like to show you how to add a new thread when we run out of thread. We shall cut this thread, take the new thread and just place it at the back here. Insert the needle and place the knot in the usual way. And we can cut these two threads. Now to secure it more tightly, you can place one more knot over it and then continue working. Now insert the needle in the next chain and place a knot, making a small beehive, and this is how we are going to proceed. To do the semicircle round, we'll have to place knots in alternate chains. That is, we'll have to skip one chain and place a knot in the very next chain. Now I'm going to leave this chain and place a knot here in the very next chain. Now insert the needle again in the alternate chain. This thread always on top, and the back portion of the thread will be wrapped anti-clockwise once and pulled. In this way we are going to work the complete round, and then over that we are going to place leafy pattern. I've already done 3 leaf edges and moving to the fourth one now. I'll show you how to do it. Insert the needle and make a small loop now. Now insert the needle again in this same loop and the front portion of the needle thread in clockwise direction, and back should be wrapped in anti-clockwise and pulled to form a knot as I've shown here. Now insert the needle again just next to it and make a loop as I've shown. Now insert the needle on top, and the front portion of the thread should be wrapped clockwise and pulled to form a knot. That will be this is the first knot. Now we have done the second. We'll have to proceed doing with the third. Insert the needle again, the same chain, and place a knot. Now the third knot is done, and the fourth also should be in ascending order. Fourth knot. Insert the needle and the knot should be placed just above the third knot. Now you can see these knots are all in ascending order, and this time we are going to move in descending order now. The knot should be placed just below the center knot as I am showing. In this way we are going to make 3 loops with knots in descending order to end this leaf pattern. Now this leaf is completed, and before we move to the next chain to form leaf, we'll have to lock it here in center. That is, insert the needle here and place a knot to lock it, wrapping the thread in anti-clockwise tightly. And now let's proceed doing the leaf. Next chain, insert the needle again, make a small loop, insert the needle in the same loop, front portion of the thread wrapped clockwise and back should be wrapped anti-clockwise, and pull for the first time. And as you can see, the knots are placed one above the other, and the fourth also, which will be the center of this leaf. Will also be in ascending order. And now the knots will move downwards. Now this leaf is completed, and we are going to lock it here. And also I am running out of thread. I am going to add a new thread and continue. To add a new thread, keep it at the back of this knot and place knot in the usual way to lock it. And before we continue, we can cut these two threads. Place another knot over it to secure it tightly. Now let's continue working on the next chain in the usual way. That is 4 knots will be in ascending order, fourth one will be in the center, and 3 knots will move in descending order for the leaf to be formed. I hope this is clear, and I'll come back to you after I completed this motif. This is the last petal that I'm doing to end this motif, and I'm going to show you again how to do this. Make a small loop, insert the needle in the same loop, and make knot again, wrapping both the threads, that is front part of the needle and back part of the needle, in anti-clockwise and clockwise direction. And the next knot, that is the loop, is to be placed next to it. Place a knot again, now this will be the third knot. Insert the needle, this portion always on top, back portion of the needle thread will be wrapped in this way. And place a knot above. Now 3 knots will be in descending order after this. Now this leaf is completed. Let us lock it here. No, there's one more loop to be formed. Sorry, that is the last loop. Now this is over. We are going to lock it here by placing a simple knot in the center and pulling it tightly. And we can cut this thread now. Now this motif is completed. With a bit of practice, we can do work very easily and quickly also. We can finish each motifs within half an hour. I hope you all enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. I'll be back with next more videos.